besties, welcome back to my channel, and if you're new here, hi, I'm Sally and you're watching Sally Reputation. Currently it is the beginning of September, which means a new TBR list, which means a new set of books that I plan to read in September, but am unsure if I will actually read them. Isn't that just how TBR works? Like, does anyone really ever stick to them like to a T? I have yet to find someone, but I plan to do that, so hopefully I am successful. Fun fact, I used to never really do TBR lists because I really didn't like setting out like a set of books to read and like having that like expectation on myself. I felt like it just made reading not fun for me, so I kind of stopped doing that. But I realized that my books that I need to read in my collection was growing so fast because I wasn't putting any, I don't want to say discipline, but any kind of like goal or anything to remind myself that like, hey, these books are unread. So they would just sit there and then I would be distracted by like whatever is new that month and like whatever just came out, and I would just read that instead. So I really just needed a reminder, and I feel like that's the fun part about TBRs, is like reminding yourself that you do have some of these books to read. And that is my goal for myself. So without further ado, let's talk about some of the books that I want to read in September. So I didn't go into September with like any kind of mood or like vibes basically. I just know that like it's gonna be fall, it's gonna rain, like autumn, pumpkin season, but I'm not like fully in that mode yet, so like I haven't really like caught on. So the books I pulled out, I don't know if they really encapsulate fall like that. I don't really know what mood I'm going for, but these were the books that I'm like, I'm interested in them and I feel like I could read them in September. So yeah. First off, I have Sweet Hand by N.J. Pelter, and I think this is like a really good book for like that summer to fall transition, in my opinion. I don't know why I feel that. Maybe because the cover is absolutely adorable. You can't look at this cover and say that it's not cute, because it's cute. But this book has been on my TBR for so long. I think I got it back in 2022, so it's like almost a year now. And I think I got it around Christmas, so it's been quite a long time. To be honest, I don't know too much about this book. I just know that it's like enemies to lover, it's chef meets musician, and I think she just got through like a really bad breakup. Like her boyfriend was cheating on her ex-boyfriend. Basically the male main character is also a musician, and so she's like, oh, I'm never gonna date him, but they actually are like enemies. They somehow like got off on the wrong foot, and it's like enemies to lover, so they will fall in love. I'm just really excited to read it because I've heard amazing things, and this is book 1, and it's like a self-published or like independent book, and I just want to read more of that. Definitely a September TBR that I hopefully will get through because I just checked out the audiobook for it. So I've been loving listening to audiobooks and physically reading at the same time, so hopefully this is one of them. Next up, I feel like fantasy is very fall and very winter theme, but I'm also a little bit nervous because I am not a fantasy girly. Like, I don't know anything about anything. I don't know world building. I really can't get into it. I get confused really easily, and I feel like I'm a person, when I'm reading, I need things to be so crystal clear and like, I guess, baby fed to me. And so that's why I'm always like confused during fantasy. Like, I was so confused during The Cruel Prince, and everyone like loved that, and I was like confused like half the book, which is like kind of embarrassing to admit, but like I tried so hard to like focus, but I couldn't. I don't know. This is a different story. Anyways, I'm going to try to read another fantasy book. I want to read The Atlas 6, and I want to do this like with an audiobook as well, because that's just like my favorite way to read recently. And I feel like with a fantasy, with something that's heavy of this like kind of description, I feel like with the audio and the physical reading, it's just really gonna help me focus. So I'm really excited for this. Also, I bought this book a while ago, like I did a haul on it, but I bought it because there's images in it, and that is just so fun, so exciting, and I feel like it's just gonna make reading it like a little bit more entertaining, and I'm sure like this book is entertaining as it is, and this is me trying something new. Next, I have Before I Let Go by Kennedy Ryan. I've been saving this, and I have always been scared to read this because it is a sad book full of content warnings and very sad descriptions. Everyone I know who has read this has felt very sad or sobbed. And that is an emotion that is like, whoa. I've just always been scared. And I feel like now I'm finding myself in a place that I'm like, I think I can read this. Like, I don't feel so intimidated to read this, which is like pretty shocking. Go me. A new chapter of my life. A new healing era. Everything Kennedy Ryan writes is magic, and so I really want to read this. But the bigger trope of this book is that it's a second chance romance. They're parents now, so it's single parent trope, or like they're co-parenting, but they have a lot of history, a lot of wounds there, a lot in the past, and so when they actually get together, there's just a lot there that they have to like go through to get to where they are in the present day. And so I am just excited to read this, and I'm excited that I'm ready to read this. Next up, I have a very exciting book. I have Ignite Me, and this is the third book, the most famous book in the Shatter Me series. I shared an opinion on TikTok. I said that I was kind of Team Adam after book 1, and after book 2, I was like indifferent. I was like, I'm neither Team Aaron or Team Adam. I think they're just both there, and they're just like her potential lovers, and I don't think any of them are really like bad nor good. But however, like after book 1, I was like, why is everyone like hating on Adam? Like, he is not a terrible guy. And everyone was like, respectfully, you can't form an opinion, or you can't have like pick a team basically until you read Ignite Me. So I was like, okay, that seems fair. Like, this is the most popular book, and I feel like this is the book that is like where he has like the ignite on his back, and it's like the famous, like the one scene in like a YA book, something with hips. Anyways, I'm excited to read this and actually can form a stance on if I'm Team Adam or Aaron, and really, or Warner, because I don't think I can say Adam yet. No, not Adam, Aaron. Super excited to learn more. I feel like the society is getting like a lot of tension, and the secret that was reviewed in Unravel Me, that was kind of like a shocker to me, and I was like, oh, like Adam and Aaron, like, and I'm excited to learn more about it here. Next up, I have Red, White, and Royal Blue. I always have a hard time saying this title. I don't know why. It's like a tongue twister for me. Everyone has been talking about this, not because it recently came out. It came out quite a long time ago, but the Prime show just came out, and I am conflicted about this. I strictly just want to talk about the book because I don't want to cross any picket lines, but I started this book like, I think 2021. I'm not sure when I got it, but I started this like a couple years ago, and I ended on page 130 because it just wasn't my cup of tea. To me, it felt like it wasn't truly an enemies to lover. It wasn't slow burn at all. Like, it was pretty insta, like, is from what I remember. I just didn't really dig it like at that time, like the writing style and things like that. So I actually put it on pause, and then I never touched it again. So I just kind of considered it a DNF. But everyone has been raving about this, and I feel like now that I can put faces into characters, I want to give this book another shot. So I am picking this back up right where I left it off because I genuinely don't think that I can like reread that introduction, but I do have like a vague memory of what happened. I'm going to try to finish this book in September just because I feel like I can do it now. I don't know what motivated me to say that, but I love the concept of this book. I think it's so like interesting, like the first son dating a prince, and it's just very like high tension, forbidden, secretive, and I guess just like mysterious, to say the least. There's a couple more books, and this next one is As Good as Dead, and this is the last book in the Good Girls Guide series. I think I just combined like series and trilogy, but series. This is the last book. This is the whole wrap up to the whole trilogy, and I am I don't want to say excited because I keep on saying excited, but I'm genuinely and like pumped to read this just because I heard Pip is so unhinged, uncontrollable, and just like out of this world. And sometimes you have to think back on it, like she's a teenager, like her parents are letting her do these things, and I feel like this book, this series is so popular where it's like spoilers are kind of unavoidable, so I kind of know what happens, but I don't really know what happens. I just like got spoiled a little bit, which is like sucky, but I would still read it. I did get to read a little bit of Max, and I hate Max, so I'm intrigued to see what goes down in this book. Oh, okay. Last book, I have Sunshine Nails, and I'm genuinely so excited to read this. I also wanted to show you, I have a little nail file with like the title and everything on it. It's so cute, so random. It was a PR that like came with the book, and so I was like, I love it. But genuinely so excited to read this. This one I feel like is just gonna hit a little bit too close to home, but it's just gonna make me feel really like seen, reflected, and validated, which always just feels good for a book. Like, why wouldn't you want to feel that way? I feel like I'm gonna connect a lot to like the immigrant stories and like the experiences, especially being like a child of immigrant parents. I am just so excited to learn more about like everyone's point of view, and just it's just gonna be so real and so like vulnerable, but like so heartwarming is just what I'm gonna say. Experiences that feel very connective and just like relatable. I'm just so excited for it. Anyway, besties, these are the books I have for September. I just dropped every single one of them, but I'm so excited to read them, and actually, hopefully, I will get to them. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoy. Like, comment, subscribe. Let me know what you want to see next, and I'll catch you on the flip side. Peace.